According to the article Problems at School, nationally only 40% of students with emotional, behavioral, and mental health disorders graduate from high school compared to the national average of 76%. And over 50% of students with emotional and behavioral disabilities ages 14 and older drop out of high school. This is the highest dropout rate of any disability group. In turns, this brings up the following topic that I will be talking about today. Mental health and well-being should be one of the subjects studied at school. After countless hours of extensive research, I believe that I am adequately knowledgeable on this particular topic. Today, we will first go over how implementing laws that makes it mandatory for public schools to include mental health education in their basic curriculum would reduce high suicide rates. And then, we will go over the significance of resilience. When it comes to mental health disorders and an unwell sense of well-being, they will play a major role in classroom learning and social interactions. Specifically, they will both affect classroom learning and social interactions because they are both vital, determining factors that would either result in a student's success or unsuccess. Yet, if proper services are made accessible and are put in place to aid in a young individual's mental health needs, it would not only significantly expand success, but also reduces the chances of negatively impacting students. Let me first begin with the fact that high suicide rates could be reduced if all states implemented laws that made it mandatory for public schools to include mental health education in their basic curriculum. In addition, according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC WISCAR's leading causes of death reports in 2017, suicide was the second leading cause of death among individuals between the ages of 10 and 34, and the fourth leading cause of death among individuals ages of 35 and 54. Due to the drastic rates of suicide and adolescent mental illness, 2 states have implemented laws that for the first time made it mandatory for public schools to include mental health education in their basic curriculum. New York and Virginia had implemented laws that included mental health instruction to the list of other subjects in kindergarten through 12th grade and 9th and 10th grades. A majority of states require health education in all public schools, and state laws have been established in numerous states that made it mandatory for health teachers to add lessons on tobacco, drugs and alcohol, cancer detection, and safe sex. We instruct students on how to draw out signs of cancer and how to steer clear of accidents, but we do not instruct them on how to recognize symptoms of mental illness. This is an absolute shame because, like cancer, mental health treatment is much more effective if the disease is caught early. So, by teaching students of all ages about mental health and well-being, they will be able to recognize early symptoms in themselves and their loved ones and find help before a crisis develops. In closing, I would like to move on to my last point, which is to have students be educated about the significance of resilience. Students should be educated about the significance of resilience, as it is constantly accentuated as the focal point in mental health. Resilience and well-being will tie in together as they are strongly impacted by the following 2 core detriments of mental health. Metacognitive self-regulation, which is correlated with reflective self-control, and a sense of meaning and purpose in life. The first detriment is the ability of awareness, particularly what is happening in our mind and body, and being able to effectively manage our attention and emotions. It would help students regulate in turns, reduce their anxious thoughts or stress. The second detriment is having a sense of meaning and purpose in life. It would prevent students from placing most of their attention towards their achievements and career, and instead find a deeper meaning and purpose in connecting with something bigger, such as religion, spiritual self-exploration, etc. Significantly, by strengthening such practices of metacognitive self-regulation and having a sense of meaning and purpose in life, it would not only play a major role in well-being, but it would also substantially improve academic performance. An example would be the fact that high levels of stress are correlated with unhealthy sleep patterns and excessive anxiety. And as an outcome, they would negatively impact exam performance and overall learning. Therefore, if students were able to utilize such practices as metacognitive self-regulation and having a sense of meaning or purpose in life, they will be able to manage their everyday qualms and in turns increase their academic achievements. Today, we went over how implementing laws that makes it mandatory for public schools to include mental health education in their basic curriculum will reduce high suicide rates. And then we went over the significance of resilience. To conclude, I would like to reiterate that mental health and well-being should be one of the subjects studied at school. According to the article's suicide statistics, on average, there are 129 suicides per day. In order to decrease this number or even prevent the occurrences of suicides among students altogether, they should be taught about how to maintain onset symptoms of mental illness. As a call to action, all states should implement laws that makes it mandatory for schools to include mental health instruction to a list of subjects. Even though it seems like a lot to ask from an education system which is considerably stretched as is, it may be the best investment we can make as a society.